we did today on the 65 sunroof. We didn't really plan on working on this right now, but we had a job that keeps on getting pushed back because the paint's not ready. So for one of our regular paint customers, we don't do paint and body. So, but it's so we went ahead and hit this thing really hard today since Chris was here to help out. He can weld and he disassembled all the car. So let's kind of walk you through what we did today. So we had started stripping this. I did the first level of stripping, and then what I do after that is I take my 7-inch polisher sander and then flat sand everything nice. That's actually just done with a polisher. Then I'll go over it with the DA after that, and then so that way I'm not stripping it all the way to bare metal, because that last couple coats is a lot harder to get off with the stripper. It's a lot easier with the sander. So we went ahead and stripped everything from here over, which basically concludes all the stripping that the car needs. The front fenders were just one coat, so they don't need to be stripped. They just need to be sanded. So while we had it stripped off, we went ahead and I pushed out all the dents, straightened it out, did a little bit of hammer work. You can even see I used that Evercoat Gold on here. Man, that stuff's amazing, really nice. And Z-grip on the other parts. I did the first coat with the cheaper Bondo. So I'm kind of working all three products right now, but I don't know if I'm going to be buying the cheap stuff anymore. I think I'm going to switch to Z-grip as a base because it just seems to work really nice. I'm not sure. If I have a lot of Bondo work, I'll probably get the cheap stuff for a gallon here and there. But if it's just thin coats of Bondo, you can do this stuff fine, But what I do is I just sand off most of the first one anyway. Like this one here, you can see the other color. I just basically hit it with the grinder, and then that's just a real thin coat of Z-grip. So it's like less than a 1/16 of an inch. So this is the original color down here. It's called Fontana Gray. Looks kind of green, but went ahead and did the final match on that today. Got that all ready to go. All the fenders, we went ahead and pounded out the dents out of them. These were all dented right here. Done them pretty straight. Big dent over here. I still got to do a little bit of ham work on that, not much. All the wiring is now stripped out of it. Again, like I said, it was me and Chris working. He hauls ass too. So I got this panel pretty straight. I got to do the final sanding on it still, which I'm going to do right now. Just kind of waiting for the Z-grip to dry so I can do that. And then there was a little rust hole over here. We welded up. He went ahead and while I was doing the stripping and stuff, he went ahead and tacked in these pieces here. We still need to replace this whole floor in the front. Just the driver's floor is bad. The passengers is pretty strong, but the driver's was had so many pinholes in it, and you can see right through it if you look right along there. See all those pinholes. So wasted that I'm gonna have to just go ahead and just do that little pan section. They have a little. I'm gonna just get one of the repair sections and probably rip out that brake line all the way in the front to rear while we're in there. This looks original. So anyway, cleaned out the inside a bit. Of course, there's a lot of dust in here. Steering wheel, everything's loose. Steering column's just hanging there. We got it all pretty much ready to sand and get this thing going on some paint. Other than, it just needs to be, the rest of the body work needs to be done. I didn't do any body work on this side. I just sanded it and primed it. So there's really not that much to do though. Could probably do all that in a day. There's a little wave in the roof. You can see right here a high ridge. So just tap that down and push up a little bit. Well, actually that's underneath the sunroof. So I'll probably have to use a paintless dent removal tool in there to get that straight. But yeah, we did quite a bit today. If you saw this thing before, and we had the fenders on it, and all the fender beadings all been taken out. All the fender bolts are all checked out. Any of the fender bolts that broke off, we've welded in these little weld-in tabs. You can see here, here's one for the bumper. There's a rust hole in the front we fixed. Got these here all the way around. I got all those in, welded in place. When I get done, I'll sand and prime this inside and check out and see what I'm going to do. I might go ahead and put a skim coat of filler on that inner panel to make it look nice. I don't know. Maybe if I feel like it, I don't know. If not, they get what they get when I sell it, because that's what I'm going to do with this car. The other thing we did today was, of course, the fenders had some cracks. This one had some more dents in it. Pounded those straight, filled it, welded in the cracks. This was all done today. So this car was still together, and then the wiring was still in place. All the stuff was still in place inside. Let me show you what else it did. So we went ahead and did a match on our color and had to play around with it for about an hour. Just getting the color right. It just takes a lot of time, and came up with this color. It's slightly different. It's not quite as green. I didn't want it that green. Because it's just too ugly. Green is an ugly color. It's not quite as green. It's up against the house. It looks, this here it looks more beige, and in the shade it looks more gray. Let's put it up against the bug. So it kind of moves around a bit. This is the original color, slightly tweaked, like I usually do. I never paint them exactly the original color. Sometimes they don't look that great. Tweak them a little bit. That's Fontana Gray, about as close as I've ever seen anybody do it. I've seen guys say stuff's Fontana Gray when it looks like primer. It's not like that. It's kind of a beigey, gray, green. So, but anyway, it's kind of a neat looking color when the whole car's done. And I was just did a spray sample on this area as well as all the other work. Anyway, before the sun goes down, well, I got a good hour or so. I got to finish this up, get this side primed. Also, all these removed. That's a bit of work right there. That stuff was really crusty. The wind wings taken out. They were in place still. What else did we do? Yeah, that's about it, I think. Remove the door handle on this side. Running board is still on. Yeah, I'm going to get some primer on this here in a few minutes. I noticed I really like this. Even the Z-grip sands a lot nicer and smoother and faster and straighter than the cheap Bondo. So it is worth it to spend the extra money on that. After using it a few times, I've definitely see the benefit of that. I'm going to start using Z-grip more instead of using the cheap Bondo, which there didn't used to be any difference. You could use the cheapest stuff, the best stuff. It didn't really matter. They were all the same years ago. Now it's like there's a huge difference. And this gold stuff is amazing. It's really great for if you want to go, if you have like a little bit of paint you want to go over. It actually sticks to that, but you know, if it's original paint, sanded, you can't just glob it on over shiny paint. That won't work. But it's really nice to use instead of the glazing. It's almost like using Rage. It's really very similar to using Rage. People say that Rage is the same. Actually, people that I'm not supposed to know that say it. They say that Rage is the same stuff. Guys at work, places where they would know. So anyway, the 65 bug update. Well, yeah, we definitely need to do some work on the dash. I forgot about that. I'll have to get a piece and fill that in. That big giant radio hole is not going to fly. All right. Talk to you in the next video.